Welcome to the Qualified Gamer Guys podcast. I'm your host, Steve. With me as always is Neil. Neil, how are we doing today? How are you?
Little sick, stayed home from work, but that just meant more Hearthstone, so it's
It
the
worked out
best
for
in
you.
the end, yeah.
I know. I saw that you were on today during the day. I was like, Neil's a rule breaker. Then I found out you were home from work. So you're just a loser is what it comes down to.
Well, I'm not as bad as you who runs to the bathroom to play a game of Hearthstone real quick.
Not real quick. I was out for about 30 minutes. Anyway, this is podcast number 14. 14's my lucky number, Neil. I know yours is 13, so as always, I'm one better than you. Before we get started here, we're going to just mention our friends Core Gamer. Core Gamer is an awesome little service, so you go over to www.coregamer.com, that's core with a K, and you enter in your email. They'll send you a little daily email every day.
How nice.
That makes sense. They don't send you a weekly email every day. So they send you a daily email every day about what's going on in the gaming world. It comes in like a nice little format to look at in your phone. And it's really cool. We use it to put together our news segments. So go over to coregamer.com, that's core with a K, enter in your email, and get the best in gaming news daily. All right, Neil.
Okay,
This
Steve.
week, all right, Neil. I always pause and I give you a second to contemplate what might be coming next. But you know what's coming next, as do our listeners. By the way, everyone, we should be doing an email segment, but all of our listeners suck and no one sent us an email. So after our very exciting email segment last time, in which I got to sing the Blues Clues mail song, we're not gonna have it this week. So if you'd like to hear an email segment, send an email to qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com. Skipping the mail segment, we're going to This Week in Video Game Release History. We got a good one this week, Neil. A real good one. A treat. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask came out April 27th, which is the day we're recording this, 2000. So 15 years ago from today. Great game. I just played it for the first time on the 3DS remake. I think you played it. Yeah, you played it back when it originally came out, correct?
Yeah, way back in the day.
So, way back in the day.
Which one could say
ago?
15 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I thought it was great. I think it's my favorite Zelda. I loved it beyond belief. The music was fantastic. I love that. I love the Zelda formula, but I liked that this one kind of broke away from that. It was cool to see that. And, yeah, it's awesome. If you guys haven't played it, definitely check out and you have a 3DS. Check out the 3DS remake. It's awesome. They did some really cool updates for it, apparently, which I didn't really get to appreciate because I never played the original one, but apparently it makes it really user-friendly. So what do you remember about it, Neil, since you played it so long ago?
I remember not liking it as much when I first played it, and then I played it later, like a few years after. I don't know if it was... I think after Wind Waker, I was like, I want to go back and play Majora's Mask. And because it's interesting you say, oh, it's nice that it broke from the Zelda formula. But when you think about it, back in the day, Ocarina of Time was the first 3D Zelda. And that formula, although the formula was established, it wasn't like beating wasn't beating a dead horse yet or whatever. Like it wasn't, people weren't sick of it yet. And then like after Wind Waker and Twilight Princess and like the Phantom Hourglass, then people were like, all right, it's starting to get a little old. And then Majora's Mask was like perfect when it came out this year because there was such a break. But back in the day, people wanted that formula and they thought Majora's Mask was such like a side game. That seemed kind of strange. And we've talked about a lot on this podcast already that it wasn't appreciated back in the day, and now it is. And I think that was the same way. I bet if I play it again, I don't think it'll become my favorite Zelda, but I bet I'll like it a lot more than when I did. Because back then, like, I never did side quests in any game. Like, I just didn't like to. So it took a lot for me, and that whole game is like quests.
Yeah, the whole side quests in this game are awesome. How like you have to run around the clock, and like some people beat it in some certain places to certain times. It's a lot to take in. I could see why maybe you didn't like it back then. I mean, you were how many years old? 9 years old.
I would have been 9 years old playing it that first year. So and that's like exactly.
And one of the nice things about the 3DS one, from what I've heard, is they added a little notebook that kind of keeps track of when people are in certain places for you once you meet them. So it's a little easier for you to complete quests. But
it was definitely it was rough. I mean, I think I mentioned it before. Like I did have a notebook with like just notes because it was really you had to keep like your own ledger, which the game just puts in for you. Which I mean, and then you had to like have a guide because there was just no way to know when someone would come out at this other time. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of want to replay it at some point, but
go back and check it out.
I mean, I got too many 3DS games right now that I'm.
Yeah, I said you have a 3DS now, so you have the luxury of playing it. The only one more thing before we move on, the little tidbit I learned from listening to the podcast is that this originally was called Legend of Zelda Gaiden, and it was not a full release, it was like a half release of Ocarina of Time. And what Gaiden means, or I forget what it exactly means in Japanese, but it means like spin-off, kind of, like it's rough translation. So it was basically like originally being developed to be a spin-off to Majora's Mask. I mean, to Ocarina of Time. And it was going to use the CD peripheral that never came out for the N64, called the Double D. Disk drive is what it stands for.
They were going to have a disk drive on the 64?
Yeah. They it released in Japan, and there's like 4 or 5 games that used it, and then they scrapped it. And what it was going to be is you were going to put your Ocarina of Time cartridge in, and you would put this disc into the disk drive, and it would like change up all the stuff from Ocarina of Time and make like kind of a new game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So then when they were like, "Oh, we're scrapping the disk drive in America," they're like, "Just make it a full-fledged game." So this came out, I think, a year and a half after Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's a quick turnaround for a Zelda game. That's why, because originally it was going to be a spin-off. And it was going to be like what they bundled in with the disc drive in order to sell it. But obviously that got canned, so they kind of had to, play it on the fly.
Yeah. I mean, that makes total sense. I know that is impressive, a year and a half, and that's why a lot of people were like, I can't believe they did that. But it uses the same textures, it uses the same characters.
Oh, it's complete reuse of assets.
Yeah, which totally makes sense. I mean, it's a year and a half. You're not going to build up a whole new thing. But they did like think of all the new gameplay. Like Link does backflips and whatnot, and like just jumping over ledge. So they added new things, so it felt new enough. But that also makes sense that they were planning it for the CD because for the 64 you needed that expansion pack. You know how you could like take out and put in like that other one. You needed that for this game. And just, to make it even better, the cartridge had that holofoil on it. So, it kind of shimmered when you tilted it a little bit. It was cool.
Yeah. So
and I think it was gold.
I thought that was cool. It was. I thought that was cool that it was originally going to be the CD game. But anyway, it's a great game. If you haven't played it, you have a great excuse to. I'm sure a lot of people out there have a 3DS, and maybe they already played it this year like I did for the first time, which was great. All right, so let's see what came out this week in video game releases. If we want the official title of the Google Doc, we got State of Decay Year 1 Survival Edition coming out on the Xbox One and PC.
I love the names of some.
Yeah, everything has to have like an edition now. They're like, all right, like this one's like so and so edition. Like when the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, like we have the Day Zero edition. What does that even mean?
We got it the day before it was released.
Yeah, well, bullshit. That's just the day it released, okay? So what is State of Decay? I've heard it mentioned several times, but since it's not coming to a platform that I personally own, I never really looked into it. Obviously, I have a PC, but I don't play games on it that much. But so what's it about?
State of Decay is the type of game that there's very little story to it, and it's essentially a big sandbox zombie game, survival game.
Okay.
It's not like the greatest graphics. It's known for it actually ran out of budget, and they had to like just ship it without finishing it. And so like there's a whole big map, and then there's like I don't know what the percentage is, but let's say like 20% of the map is just empty space, like it's just grass that goes on forever because they were gonna fill it with a ton of stuff. They just couldn't. You know what I mean? And then there was and they have like certain sections that just closed off because they couldn't get to them. But basically, what it is the cool premise behind it is that you get one character in the beginning, but you can switch to any character you want. And if a character dies, then he's dead for the rest of the game. And they do level up, I believe. So it really so and you get like that emotional attachment to one character or something like that, and then like if he dies, like that's it. You gotta then find another character to carry on.
That's that Zombie U did that on the Wii U. That was a launch title in which that if your character died, he was dead forever, and you moved on to the next character. And do you know if like in that game you could like go find where that other character died and get your supplies back? Is that how this works?
Yeah, I think that's how this works. And so I know like
it's a copy of Zombie U basically. So you're telling me because that game came out 4 years ago.
this yeah, I think this came out after that. I don't know. It never looked too appealing to me, but I know a lot of people actually really liked it, and it had some glaring issues where like because it was like I said, like they ran out of budget. It seemed like it was kind of unfinished and unpolished. But people really like the idea that like you just search around in this big open world, you find things, and like there's like special zombies, and there's like so it's not just like I'm trying to say in a way that it looked like it had a lot of potential, and if they had the budget, it probably could have been a really, really huge game, but it kind of dropped it. So I think this edition is trying to push that a little bit more. I don't know the differences between them, but I know that they added more stuff to it. So I think they're trying to be like, this is the game we really wanted to kind of give to you guys.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of like the first one was like in early access almost.
Yeah, so. Almost like it would be if it was on PC only, it probably would have been in beta like this entire time. Like one of those things where it's in beta for like 3 years.
Yeah. Until people start pledging money, then they have enough to finish it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know the deal. I know how it works, Neil. I'm familiar with the industry. Oh, God. All right, so then next we got Broken Age, the complete adventure, coming to PS4 and Vita. I know what this is, actually.
Dude!
And I plan... Yeah, because it's a Double Fine game, which is one of my favorite developers, because they make Costume Quest and Costume Quest 2. You know what I was thinking today, which is actually pretty funny? I think 2 of my top 15 favorite games ever, 3 of my top 15 favorite games ever, are just like Halloween games. Like Costume
You love
Quest,
Halloween, though.
Yeah, I do. It's like my favorite holiday, but it's Costume Quest, Costume Quest 2, and Luigi Mansion Dark Moon. I love those games, and they're all just like scary like Halloween games. But I digress.
Okay.
But that has nothing to do with Broken Age. I just was thinking about this and I want to bring it up. Broken Age is coming out. I plan on playing this probably during the summer drought, which is no longer becoming a drought because I'm pushing so many games to it. It looks good, and I'm glad I waited to play because I heard like the first one was great and it has like a really good cliffhanger, and it's nice that now that I've waited, I'll just be able to jump right into the second part and see how it goes. So, do you have any interest in this?
Yeah, I have a lot of interest in the same exact thing. I was waiting for it to be complete, and I know that I've seen the first one on Steam sales a lot, and it looks like a game that I would actually kind of play on computer, even though when it gets to it eventually, I think because it's only coming out PS4 right now, and Vita.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but it's supposed to be like like a really in-depth, cool, complex story, but then an also really cool like tactical turn-based system. I think it's almost like a Fire Emblem kind of style where it's like,
oh,
I believe it's like that. I could be wrong. It might just be turn-based, but I think it's more tactical than that.
Oh, Neil.
As soon as I said Fire Emblem,
you're saying all the right words.
And it's supposed to have a really cool art direction and stuff too. It's supposed to be just a really good game, and I know people love Double.
Is it Halloween-based, Neil?
I like your Halloween-based games aren't even like they're not scary. They're just like kids' Halloween stuff kind of thing.
I love Halloween. All right. I really hope the Costume Quest 2 gets a DLC. By the way, sorry to just go back, but like Costume Quest 1 got a Christmas DLC, and like, come on, I need DLC.
You need more.
I need it. You know why? Because that was our most successful streamed game ever. It was Costume Quest.
It really was, and you would never see that coming.
Got up to like 50 viewers.
I think you mean that was 50,000.
Yeah, 50,000 million.
Yeah.
Right, so sorry, is it October yet? Broken Age.
Any chance that Costume Quest can be woven into the conversation, you're just gonna go for it.
No, I mean Double Fine's a cool people. Tim Schafer, man.
People love or hate him. He's like, there's no in between with that guy.
I like him.
And I hate
kind of
him.
like.
No, I have no opinion of him, actually. I guess I'm the in-between. I have no opinion of him.
Well, this game looks good. I'm sure it's been played before. But this release is day and date with part two on PC, right? I believe so.
I
Like part
think
two
so.
hasn't come out yet, and it comes out the same day this completed. So this is nice, So people out there could have avoided spoilers to this point. Um, all right, yeah. So I'll be picking that up eventually.
Yeah, same
Exciting,
here.
Neil.
Wait,
Add that
yeah,
one to the. I might wait for a sale, but that's
that's
just me.
same here. Because I think it's like $40, not like 30 or something like that.
Oof, $8.
Sucks.
All right. WWE 2K15 is coming out on the PC. Thank God.
I only put this on here because I know you just started playing the other one.
I just bought it on PS4. You want to hear what I did, Neil? I feel really bad about it.
Oh god.
So I got NBA 2K15 from Amazon for $10 when it was on sale, right? $10.
Okay.
So then I went to Target and I was like, yeah, I got this as a gift. Like, and I have the receipt. Can I return it? And they're like, yeah, sure. You just have to get the lowest price it's been in the last 6 months. So I was like, sure, whatever. So like, I returned it and they gave me $40, and then I bought WWE 2K15 which was on sale for $39.
Oh
So
my
I
god.
got WWE 2K15 for $10.
I didn't think that
That's
no
pretty good,
receipt
right?
thing actually worked.
Well, Target's like one of the only places you can do it, and they take your ID, and you're only allowed to do 2 non-receipt returns a year. So,
So you used one on WW 2K15.
well, I mean, I got it for $10. That's pretty good. It was never going to be $10.
Yeah, no,
Now
that's really cool. I'm gonna do that with some giant TV.
Yeah.
So what?
Giant TV.
So now that you're a master of this WWE game, are
Yeah.
you happy that the PC fans can now share in the experience of how incredible it is?
Just so I can see the stupid mods that get put onto it. The game itself is like really complicated to control. I couldn't imagine playing it with a keyboard. I could not imagine. Like, it is hard to control. I'm planning on starting my like character and trying to take him through the
Whatever the
the
season
ranks
is.
of WWE. Yeah, like no, they have like a be a pro mode kind of.
Oh,
I might
okay.
stream. I might stream that actually because I
You
think I have
absolutely should stream
I
that.
think I have some good commentary to go along with that. So look forward to that on our Twitch, which is Qualified Gamer Guys. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, so cool. It comes out on PC. It didn't get that great reviews, but like I played it for like 2 hours with my friend, and we were just cracking up, having a good time. So it's one of those games. It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. There's so many unlockables, dude. There's like 72 characters to unlock. It's insane.
That's crazy. That's I know that like the only wrestling game I ever played was back in N64, and it was one of the funnest games. Like I never played it by myself or anything, but you get like 4 people in a room and play it together, and just the most absurd stuff happens, and you
It
always
is.
so you get so into it. It's like Super Smash, but
Yeah.
it's like exemplified to this insane point.
It's really funny too because like they even like work in like that the guys like fake that they're hurt. So like after you get hit with a big punch, your guy just like rolls on the ground and you're like, get up, and then meanwhile the person you're playing is like climbing on top of the ropes to land on you. It's terrifying, but yeah, it's fun. It's fun. I'm gonna probably start doing my season or whatever soon. So. All right, and the last thing we got in here is the COD Ascendance DLC on PS4, PS3, and PC. It's already been out for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One because of that 1 month deal. So this has another zombies map in it, right, Neil? So we'll probably play that.
Yeah, I definitely plan on picking it up. I don't think I have any games coming out in like the next 2 months that I want. So I might as well pick this up, and I know nothing about it. Like I haven't watched any gameplay, read anything about it.
Neither. That's how it usually is with the DLCs, though, because I try to avoid it. Because they kind of, after that month they've been out, if you see too much, you're like, yeah, maybe I don't need that. But
You realize that it's really
yeah.
not worth the money, but until then, we're totally just gonna get it.
But I love zombies, man. So we'll just play zombies.
Yeah.
Speaking of zombies, by the way, we're moving on to the news section here. Black Ops 3 trailer came out. Did you watch it?
I did, and I actually really loved it.
Me
What
too.
about you?
I thought it was awesome. Me too. You know that my favorite CODs are the Black Ops, and I love Treyarch, so I'm really excited.
And like
And
I like the fact that if this was just like a commercial playing on TV, you would think it was like a movie coming out or
oh
something.
yeah,
You would never expect it was a Black Ops game. And I kind of like that.
I
Black Ops has always gone for the extreme narrative, which now the other games are getting to that too. But I think Black Ops kind of started that. I
I
shouldn't say
love how
that.
they're playing Paint It Black as like the trailer's going on, which
Yeah.
is an awesome song. And it reminds me of in Black Ops 1, there's a scene in Vietnam
Oh yeah.
where you're in the riverboat and Sympathy for the Devil is playing as you're shooting like flamethrowers onto all these huts. And it's like one of my favorite COD levels ever because that's one of my favorite songs. And Paint It Black being played. Oh my god, it's great. So if you haven't seen the trailer, definitely look it up. I mean, COD's obviously a huge pillar franchise every year, so you probably have seen it, but it looks fast, like wall running and all that stuff. So it's like it's going kind of, which I think is good though, because Advanced Warfare feels so fresh that I feel like if they went back and didn't have kind of like fast motion again, it'd feel like a step back. You know what I mean? Like you'd be like, oh, well, this feels slow in comparison. So what do you think?
Here, my argument to that is, I would almost argue that Modern Warfare 2 and 3 felt faster than the other Black Ops because there was more like you were just so much more stuff was going on. And there's all this other crazy technology that you had to keep up with, and the Black Ops was more basic. At least the first one was. 2 was kind of getting to that point, but the way that they're making it faster is not just keeping up that. They're also your gun now never lowers when you sprint; it's always
Oh, really?
up. And sprinting is now unlimited. You can just sprint forever. And you can put 5 attachments on your gun. So I'm worried that they might be going like too crazy with it. I think every year it's getting closer and closer, just like a Twitch shooter almost. Because now your gun is always up. That's like every Twitch shooter. There's no sprint. Sprint and running is just the same thing now. So you're just going to be like, what if there's not even a sprint button? You're constantly just like moving. And so I don't know. I want to see it because I was kind of unconvinced with Advanced Warfare, and now I love it. It's not my favorite one, but it's up there. It's probably my top 3, I would say. And so I'm looking forward to Black Ops 3. At least it's going to be different. They keep trying things, which I really like about the COD series in general. That you have 3 developers companies basically just going at it and doing their own thing and seeing like our games better than their games, which is cool.
Yeah, it is, and I think that this new 3-year development cycle they're on, we'll see a good switch to a better quality product. So we'll see. And there's been some rumblings and mumblings on the internet that perhaps Sony might have locked up the marketing deal instead of oh god, Neil,
Microsoft.
yeah, Microsoft. So that'd be huge, and I guess like this is all based on Reddit hearsay of people doing their detective work or whatever. So we'll see. I mean, that'd be something that you'd see in an E3 conference. Kind of like when they bring out the trailer, they'll be like, and DLC will appear first on Sony. So that'd be interesting, and it would benefit us, Neil. So I really hope that's true.
That's going to be such a huge steal from them
Yeah.
if Sony takes that, because a lot of people get Xbox for that reason, and if Sony grabs that, they're stealing everything from Microsoft, taking all their
If Sony
fan base.
grabbed that, there'd be a lot of pissed off Xbox owners, because like so many people are just like play COD. They like play COD and other shooters, like say Halo or something.
I kind of
like,
hate the
well-
fact that sorry, go on.
Well, and they're like, well, like, oh, if I'm only really gonna play COD, like, let me get an Xbox, so at least I get the DLC first. And like, if they switch, those people are gonna be pissed.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of always hate these deals in general that like
Me
someone
too.
Can,
I don't like
someone
them
can
in
just pay more because there's just a bidding war going on behind the scenes,
Yep.
and it's just like, hey, we'll give you this much, and Microsoft is like, oh, we'll give you this much, and
Yep.
Sony is doing better right now. I'm not talking about Sony versus Microsoft, but in the gaming departments of both of them, Sony is clearly crushing Microsoft. It's like, oh, it's in the positive. It's just outselling, so they can just be like, let's just offer a ton of money, steal Call of Duty from Microsoft, and we'll just take it away. So I hate these deals, but it is going to benefit us since
They are, and Sony's in the position to do it, like what you're saying. They have footing right now. They can not only can they say, hey, like we have more money, we'll give you more money for it, but we have a bigger install base, so it's better for you to
Totally.
accept upscale. Unlike what it was like with the 360 and the PS3. So
Yeah, it was a complete opposite
yeah,
back in
it'd
the
be
360
if,
PS3.
if Activision's smart and they're just going to go the higher bidder and the bigger potential to sell more units, then they're going to go to Sony because it just logistically would make sense based on how many units are in people's hands.
And just
So
think about all the merchandising they could switch to go, all the PS4 headsets they could sell for COD and
yeah,
stuff. Because you know how Xbox is all about that. They just
yep,
it's a whole new marketplace that they could open up to. So they
they
might be
would
thinking about that too.
they wouldn't have changed this without an extensive market research thing
Oh yeah.
of like this will be more profitable if we switch over. Again, this is just based on some hearsay and some detective work, but we'll see. We'll probably see coming up. You imagine there's going to be a beta. You imagine the beta will be announced at the one of the press conferences based on who got the exclusivity. So we'll see. Also on the trailer department, we have the Mad Max trailer, which looked cool, and the movie actually comes out in a couple weeks too. So, what'd you think?
I'm excited for the movie. I can say that for
Yeah,
certain. The game looks interesting. I have my concerns.
interesting.
I have my concerns. I like the thought that like you get a home base, you get to like kind of collect people to it. You get cars, you get to modify them, you get to like upgrade it. I like that. I like all of that. The car
So
combat.
you like most of it.
Dude, I'm going through it. The car combat looks cool. It looks fast and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It looks really cool. The combat is worrying me. It looked like there was really cool combos, like the really like bloody cool action going on, but at the same time,
Shit.
it looks
Like,
slow.
are you saying that it's bloody, or are you saying it like a British man? Like,
Oh, it's bloody good.
it's bloody good, or I'm gonna hop on the chug chug.
So, but the problem with the combat that from I could see is that it looked like it would almost freeze and let you like get. Now, I don't want to call it a quick time event, but I hope God they're not in there. But there
Yeah.
was definitely scenes in the trailer where you could almost see the character like slide into place. Like it's like this guy's against a rail, so I hit this button. Oh, we have to move like an inch over, and now I can like smash his head into something. So it didn't look smooth enough for me yet. But
Okay.
besides that, I'm compared to like
Yeah.
compared to
What'd you
other like movie film games.
Tie-ins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks incredible compared to all those.
Well,
So
yeah, it's a film game, but it's a film game of a game of a game. You know what I
I don't
mean?
know. It looks interesting, but I have my concerns. What about you? What did you think?
I liked it. I like games like that. And
Just
it
straight
looked
up liked
cool,
it?
but I liked it. Yes, I just thought it looked cool. But it worries me that it comes out in the fall. Just that it's probably just gonna get lost amongst the other ones. But they said September, right?
Yeah, I
So,
mean, it only takes a couple weeks
Yeah,
to
it's
be
kind
separated.
yeah, it's kind of before everything starts to hit, kind of like Destiny was. But we'll see.
Unless it gets delayed, which we'll just throw it out there.
Yeah, it's a huge possibility of getting delayed. Who's publishing it? Do you know? Is it like an Activision game or EA?
I guess I should look that up.
I forget. Maybe
Warner Brothers. I assumed it would be.
I was actually gonna say who's making the movie, so that makes
Yeah.
sense. All right, so that's been your video game trailer news. Actually,
Is it,
no,
though?
it's not. It's not because Neil is finally excited for Batman: Arkham Knight after the new trailer dropped today that highlighted that you'll be able to play as Nightwing and Robin. Spoiler alert. So why is this the tipping point of you being excited?
So everything I've seen so far, which I don't know if I've seen all the trailers, has looked like, oh look, you get to drive his car this time. And I'm like, I don't really care about driving his car around the city. And like, oh, you can move faster around the city. I'm like, I don't care about that. And the combat and stuff looked the same, so I was like, it's just another game. And I've always thought the other games were just okay. But this, like they showed like all the combos you can do with your friends, and that just looked really, really cool. And the story actually grabbed me. I couldn't tell you what it's about, but it was just really, really cool looking. And so I'm finally excited for it. It might be the first game in the Arkham series that I'm actually excited for.
Here's a little tip for you. The Arkham Knight is not Batman. It's the masked killer that he's tracking down through the game.
Oh,
So
he's that robot looking guy.
I
I'm
don't. I'm
guessing
like,
there was
who's
some
that?
robot looking guy that looked like he was wearing armor. I'm going to assume it was a knight.
Well, yeah, and there's like basically the Arkham Knight has enlisted all of the typical Batman villains.
Villains. How many times do they come together in a
A
movie or
lot,
a game?
a
They're
lot.
like they're always just working together, and then they're
They're
always
getting
like,
they're also getting their own feature length movies in the Sinister Six. So,
"Oh yeah, you're
uh,
right.
Harley Quinn and
She's the greatest."
Joker. Oh my god! And the girl who's playing her, Margot Robbie, is the greatest. If you don't know her, please look her up.
The two
Uh,
greats come together.
it's like literally the greatest of all time. We'll put that in the linked up. In the
Just
link
pictures,
description.
just pictures of them.
Just a picture of Margot Robbie. Um. So yeah, and then if actually speaking of Sinister Six, Jared Leto's Joker pictures came out this week. This weekend actually. Did you see those?
I didn't. Does he look terrifying?
He looks terrifying. Just take a quick Google search of
I'm doing it right now.
Jared Leto Joker. Oh, excuse me. This is Suicide Squad. Sinister Six is the Marvel one.
Sinister Six is Spider-Man, I think, right?
Yes. Yeah, and this is Suicide Squad,
Oh,
which is
God.
the Batman ones.
He is horrifying.
I mean, yeah, isn't he scary, man?
Oh, it's okay. Olivia Munn popped up next.
Yeah, you're looking at CNN. Now type in Margot Robbie.
Like I knew the exact site I was at.
Oh, because I typed it in too. Harley Quinn is who she's playing.
Oh man. This is the new segment of Qualified Gamer Guys.
This is Steve Steele, Neil Steele
Where we just look up pictures.
of hot actresses.
And
Yeah.
actors. Jared Leto, man.
She's gonna play a good Harley Quinn. I'll tell you that
I'm
much.
trying to think of what else is she in.
She's in
Wolf of Wall Street. There we go.
Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah,
Okay.
she's blonde in Wolf of Wall Street.
So.
All right. Woo! Well, I've always been excited for Arkham. I love the Arkham games, so I mean, this trailer was just like it took me from 3/4 chub to I need to call my doctor because it's been lasting more than 4 hours. So it pushed
the
me.
new way of saying 6 to midnight. It's just,
Six
I need to see my doctor. It's been over 4 hours.
So, yeah, I'm really excited, and that's going to be like a huge summer game. Although it comes out the freaking week of my brother's wedding, so not that I'm angry about it, but
Sound a
I'll
little
have to
angry.
wait to play it. Oh, my. You better believe it, Neil.
So
All right.
why don't you say the date of the weekend so we're not all basing it off? Because I don't know when it comes out. When does it come out?
I think it comes out June 24th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me
Oh,
make
that's
sure.
soon. I thought it was like next year or something.
No, yeah, dude, it comes out this summer, which is great because it's
Because
June 23rd is when it comes out.
what if they did like online co-op?
It comes out on Mac too. Thank God.
Do they do?
Uh,
What? I don't even know if this is a thing, and I just don't know about it. But that would be really cool if they did a co-op and you got to be like Batman and one like Robin.
yeah. Wow. That would be awesome, actually.
I'm glad you got halfway so you go, wow, yeah, wow.
All right. Yeah, that comes out in like 2 months. Wow.
Wow.
All right. Some quick news here. We got Mortal Kombat X is the biggest launch ever in UK, and it's the best in the franchise, which is great because that game's fantastic. Neil and I share played it, and Neil actually really enjoyed it. Did you not?
I really enjoyed it. I didn't even come close to beating Steve once.
No, well,
Still really fun though.
yeah, it's just fun. It's just like everything looks good.
The fatalities are just.
Oh my god.
It's so funny in that game though because it's like it's one of those games where the special moves like the X-ray moves last long enough that when they happen you just sit there and go, oh god, oh god, oh god. It's just like gets worse and worse to your character.
I did 2 fatalities on Neil, and they both just were someone splitting their head open, and he was like, "Is that every fatality?"
It probably
So,
is. It's just all head.
It is. I mean,
Splits.
everyone gets their head split open eventually. So that's good. That game's awesome, and it's doing well. Other than its bullshit microtransactions. And we have a possible Alan Wake sequel after Quantum Break, Alan Wake 2 prototype. Neil, you put this on here. I could give a monkey's ass.
Why don't you
So
like Alan Wake?
it's a crap game, Neil.
What?
We're all out our opinions. Hey, don't say what. You said that you thought the first two Batman games were crap, and I didn't say anything.
You say
I think
you say stuff every time. I've just said it so much you're kind of over it at this point.
yeah, well, Alan Wake is baloney. This game's not good.
So Alan Wake, I haven't played it because I think it's Xbox only.
Yeah,
And so it's Xbox only. I watched a Let's Play of it. It just looked really cool to me, and people love it. Steve may not. I've never played it, so maybe I'd actually hate it if I got my hands on it. But people love it.
You know what? I want you to play it, and then you'll hate it, and you'll be like, you know what, Steve? You were right.
So you've actually played it?
No. It just looks awful to me.
Okay. But the point is that they were considering an Alan Wake 2, and there's even a prototype of a video of like 10 minutes of what they were kind of thinking of. And so a lot of people are like getting that hype train going, being like, hey, you guys have to make this game after they make Quantum Break, which is another Xbox game. On the Chug Chug, which is another game they're making that looks interesting. It looks like a typical AAA game, almost like Watch Dogs. Like it could be really, really good, but then it's just like it's nothing. It's just like it's okay. And so it's worth stating the fact that even if Steve doesn't like it, and I've never played it, the hype train is officially moving.
The hype train sucks, though. All right, yeah. Thank God that Alan Wake 2 is coming out so that we can play. Anyway, so GameStop's running this new thing called Power to the Scholars, which apparently is a way for GameStop workers and their children to earn scholarships for school, which is cool considering all the bad press that GameStop gets. This is something that we should be talking about and not ending with GameStop sucks. Do you have to pre-order the scholarship, or is it just going to be?
Be a reward member. You have to cash in some points to be able to get it.
It's cash. If you try and give the scholarship back, do they give you like 10% of what it was when they gave it to you a week ago? Or maybe, Jesus. I always say, like, let's not shit on GameStop, and I just go on to get
It's so hard not to. But this is cool, and it's just the fact that more companies are doing this. I think Walmart does this too, in a way. I know Walmart has put some people through college. Now, this is not GameStop giving people a full ride. I think it's only like 2 or 3
I was just saying, by the way, that scholarship I got was from GameStop. that was the pre-order bonus for Splatoon. Thanks for pre-ordering Splatoon. You get to go to college. All right, go on.
But it's cool. It's just a couple $1,000s, but they're giving it to a lot of people, so it's going to add up for them. So that totally makes sense. I mean, they're only a multi-million-dollar company that could spare a few change. But we're not talking crap about it today. We're talking all the good things because it's such a terrible company. Is that it does work for the children too. So if you can send your kids to college, and it was a high school too. I'm pretty sure it's just college. And you have to like maintain a certain GPA. You have to do certain stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah,
I like. What?
It's like most scholarships, though.
Yeah.
Most scholarships, you have to maintain a GPA.
Well, it makes sense. You don't want to give it to someone who's just like not going to class. But it's really cool.
That's true.
It's more and more companies should do this, in my opinion, because I'm not a part of any big company.
Should they?
Yeah, Steve, shouldn't Lockheed Martin just start giving out scholarships? They probably do.
They do, but it's not like I work for them or something. Anyway,
you have no idea what this next thing is. I want to see you try to lead into it somehow.
how'd you know?
Because you just paused for so long, I was like, he might just skip over to the next thing because he can talk about that and he can't talk about this one.
I don't know what it means.
So, Submerged.
Submerged is a new adventure game for the PS4. If you guys don't know, this game is about buried treasure under the sea, and you play as a submarine trying to like use those little like arm things things to get the treasure and bring it up to the surface. How close am I?
You're actually pretty close. It's the sequel to Spelunky. It takes place underneath the water this time as a scuba diver.
Okay.
That's 100% not true. So it's about these two people who are stuck on a boat, and they kind of drift to this old rundown place that's covered in like, tree like moss and trees, and it's all like this old civilization. And then you see like there's like a Ferris wheel in there, and it's like, oh, this is set in the future, and that's about all you really know at the point. And it looks really, really cool. It looks like a game I would love, and Steve would just be like, nah, looks dumb.
So
Like Alan Wake.
I was way.
Yeah, you were way off.
I was way off. Well, you got to admit that was like a pretty good guess, though.
It was a pretty good guess. I'm sure that's a Flash game somewhere.
No?
I think Submerged is in reference to it's like a flooded old city. That is what it looks like.
You mean like Atlantis?
Like Rapture.
Like Atlantis. Okay. All right. So I guess we'll see that in 7 years.
Yeah,
because
it just announced. I thought it was really cool, and I'm going to be every time there's any news about it, it's going to be in this podcast until Steve admits he wants this game.
I mean, I don't even know what it looks like, Neil. Don't be so cynical about me. I'm pretty cynical myself, but you don't get to be cynical about me. All right. That's enough about that. So, in big news here, Silent Hills was canceled. Just canceled. Obviously having to do with the whole Kojima thing. But that's pretty upsetting because I was actually looking forward to that. How about you?
Yeah, I was never going to play this game at all, but I'm really upset by this still.
Because you're afraid of scary games. Like
you didn't even play the demo. I did.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
but the thing is, it looked like a game just based off the demo alone, which took like it was a whole community effort again, where like the community had to come together and figure out how to beat this thing because it was so difficult. So I like games like that. It was absolutely horrifying. There was so many Let's Plays of it and gameplay of other people playing it that was like hilarious. I just liked watching it, and I wanted to see those people play the full game. And the fact that it was going to be, I always forget this director's name, but he did Pan's Labyrinth and Mama or whatever.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, him and Kojima, and then Norman Reedus from Walking Dead. Like that would have just been a really, really cool game. I think it would have been done like reset the standards for what like horror games are, which I think they need to get a little reboot because they're kind of becoming stale. And so it's upsetting that this is like Kojima left and everything is like this is going downhill, and they can't like.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
So even though I was never going to play this game, I'm still upset by it.
I'm upset. I was going to play it, and for basically all the reasons you said, it was probably going to be like the most cinematic experience to date in a horror game. So
yeah, I think so. Oh, dude,
it's a shame
about the trailer, and I guess it's worth stating that they're going to take PT, which is the trailer, the playable teaser, off the PSN network. Is it on Xbox? I don't even know. Off?
No, it's on Xbox.
Losers. So they're going to take it off, so you should download it now if it's still on there. I think they're taking it off Tuesday.
It's off the 29th.
Okay, the 29th. So that's Wednesday, whatever. So definitely download that if you haven't played it, even just to keep it. I think it's going to be one of those things that's like 5 years from now, people are going to be like, yeah, I still have this game.
Mm-hmm.
Which I should probably do that, but
you should, Neil.
Maybe I'll like throw it on a flash drive somewhere.
Oh, now you're stealing things. Well, that's a shame. You never like to see games being canceled.
Dude. What if that happens? What if people start selling it online on flash drives?
Neil,
you can't do that, can you?
No, you can't do that.
Darn it.
You can't share games like that. So it's a shame to see it canceled. You never like to see games canceled. Unless it's Alan Wake 2. So, anyway, I was watching ESPN 2 last night, and they had a live broadcast of the finals of this tournament of the new MOBA, Heroes of the Storm. And let me tell you, Neil, wow, these kids were some nerds. All right.
Well, like, the kids playing, or, like, who was, like, commentating or whatever?
Everyone. Like, everyone involved in this, and it was on ESPN2 on Sunday night at 9 o'clock. And if you went on Twitter and looked at the hashtag, these people are getting torn apart. So
Oh God.
yeah, so it was pretty interesting though to see gaming get that big of a spot. Um,
They
but
should
I
have.
don't think
Sorry, go on, go on.
I think if you want to debut e-gaming on ESPN, how about like a Madden tournament or an MLB The Show tournament, NBA, FIFA, NHL, a sport, that could be sponsored by like the professional league, not Heroes of the Storm. And then to make it worse, because it was a college tournament, they nicknamed it Heroes of the Dorm, which just makes these kids sound even more like losers that never get out of their rooms.
What they needed to
So,
do is just ESPN
not
just
really.
needed to not host it themselves or whatever.
Yeah.
They just they need to do first off either Dota 2 or League of Legends
Yeah, they
and
could
nothing
actually get.
else. And it needs to be they just stream it from the main tournament that has like a million people in the audience, not a million people in the audience, a million people tuning in and hundreds of people in the audience watching it, and they just let you go, hey, you can watch it on your TV on ESPN. They shouldn't just do here. I'm sure they made some deal with Blizzard, who's trying to get the best advertising for the new MOBA
It
out
is. It
there.
is because that game is going into open beta in 2 weeks, and it's releasing June 2nd, and it's free to play. And honestly, like the game itself looked pretty interesting, and it's kind of cool because it just takes all the heroes from the different Blizzard games. So like, there's like a oh god, what do you call
Use
those?
your war, use your
I know. I'm trying to
Hearthstone
think.
knowledge. Come
I
on,
know.
drop
It's
some
like
names.
God, like not like a dwarf. Yeah, it was a dwarf like with a big hammer. Is one of the characters. He's from World of Warcraft. Then
Some
there's like
night elves,
some
I'm sure, and
yeah some people from StarCraft or other ones, and it looks pretty interesting because of that. So I mean the game itself looked fun, but I don't think it was a proper
no,
place.
it clearly was trying to get a lot of marketing for the game, and ESPN is finally understanding. Even though a lot of people, I know there was like people who work for ESPN that are like, I would rather quit ESPN than show like these nerdy games or whatever because they think
I
ESPN is
just
this
think
like
that
high
if you want
quality news reporting station of some sort
if
when they play the
if
same.
ESPN
The
yeah,
what?
but I'm just saying if ESPN wants to get into the esports thing, you got to start with a sports video game.
Yeah,
Just work to your audience. It makes a lot more sense.
yeah. I think that they're definitely trying to get into that though, and I kind of like seeing that
Well,
happen. But this was not the way to do it.
back in the day, they used to televise the Madden tournament. They did. They used to do
That was
it, and
cool.
then they don't do it anymore. So like if you're like, hey, esports is catching on, then let's do Madden again. All right, so that's the news. That's what happened. Again, check out Core Gamer with a K. All right, Neil. I know what you've been playing, but our listeners don't. Actually, they probably do.
They probably do.
But
It's the same thing as last week.
what have you been playing?
But with good news, Steve, I have beaten
Good.
Titan Souls.
Oh, nice. How'd you like it?
I really liked it. I wish it was a little bit longer. I wish it. There's no replay value to it. Like
Yeah.
I have no intention of going back to that game. Like I think
Okay.
there might even be some optional bosses that I have to find,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't
You
feel like
still-
searching for them. I'll just look it
Okay.
up eventually, and then I'll probably do it because like it's not that the world is hard to navigate. It's just big and empty,
Yeah.
and so like
enough.
and you play Shadows of the Colossus where like you kind of had to like run a really long distance. And actually, that was one of the things I hated in it is that you had to like use your sword to guide you, and you like there was definitely a moment when you get stuck for like 10 minutes against like a hill because you didn't know where the proper rock to climb was. But point is, this game is like it's kind of like that where I couldn't get into it enough where I want to like explore the world in that sense. But all the fights were really really fun, and I would actually hold my breath because they were so quick and so intense that I would just like hold my breath going into it, and then like they would last like 20 seconds, and then just like exhale, which I find myself doing with some Bloodborne bosses as well. When it gets down to the wall, you know what I'm talking about. When there's like just a sliver of health left,
Yes.
and you just like you hold your breath and you just like so zoned in. It's like every fight in Titan Souls was kind of like that. And sometimes, very rarely did I have a fight that would last longer than a minute. And so I would just go in and like just hold my breath for just like the whole thing, and then it was like I usually die, but it was a really fun game. I like the fact that like the bosses are almost like puzzles. You have to figure out like how to do it, how to actually kill them, and a lot of it is like some of it is as simple as like when he turns around, you have to hit him in the back with an arrow, and other ones are like you have to hit his weapon while he's swinging it to throw him off balance, and then hit him with like another arrow, which is kind of cool. So I had a lot of fun doing that. Bloodborne, I don't know what else to say. We're making progress. Every night is more progress made. We're pretty close to beating it, I believe. Unless we get stuck on a boss forever. I'm looking forward to I don't know if I'm going to do a new game plus right away, but I might start it up just to see how different it is, like play like a half an hour. I hear you get a really cool weapon when you beat the game, which I want to get and test out. But besides that, the only other thing I've been playing is Hearthstone, which I played a lot of today since I stayed home so long. Since I stayed home, I just kept playing in new decks, and God, it's so much fun.
I figured you would play like an actual video game because you could play Hearthstone wherever.
I was catching up on like Game of Thrones and stuff. Like, there's all the weekend shows I didn't watch.
Oh, okay.
And since I wasn't feeling well, I didn't feel like I don't know, like when I play games upstairs, I have to like sit in a chair, kind of the setup. So this is why I want to like just watch down.
What Neil's alluding to is that he was sitting on the pooper. So
so when so I was playing Hearthstone, and I see Steve. It goes like Steve has popped on, and then and he's like, "Oh hey," I'm like, "Oh hey, how's it going?" He goes, "I'm pooping." That's like the second thing he said to me, and I assumed you were because you were playing this game at work.
Well, I mean, I play it at my desk sometimes too.
Do you really?
Yeah, like I like be like, I've been working for 2 hours straight. Let me do a quick Hearthstone battle.
Okay, they do get quick unless if you get what that we were talking about earlier, that the slow plays where people just wait. Which luckily I've only gone against one person who's done that, but it was the worst game because it just takes so long.
So long. Anyway.
Oh, one more thing. I had another game today that was the person just didn't play and they just like timed out every single thing. I love those games.
Free victory.
Basically.
Have you tried the ranked game yet, or you just been doing casual?
I've done a couple ranked games. I think I've won 2 or 3.
Do you
but
get
I
any
keep
more
doing casuals to do like the quest. Like I want to finish the quest.
Yeah. You get any more coins for ranked?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
You probably are.
I probably am. Wait, so tell me how, because I know you've been playing this, and I know you're playing other games while we're on this. How does the arena work? Do you like bet coins?
You go. All right. So you pay 150 coins, right?
Right.
And all right, you're with me so far. So then it gives you 3 cards at a time, and it gives you 3 cards at a time 30 times. And based on the 3 cards that show up, you have to pick one of them, and then the other 2 are discarded, and it gives you 3 more cards. So you build a deck like that, and everyone in the arena builds a deck like that. And then you go in and you have 3 battles, and based on how you do in the 3 battles is the quality of prizes that you get. So if you go 3-0 with this deck that you built, you get like a rare card, a semi-rare card, and like a common. If you win 2, you get a semi-rare and a common. And if you win 1, you just get a common. You know what I mean? And if you go like all out, if you go 0 for 0, I think they throw you like 10 coins. So
it's like, oh, you tried. Here, take some coins.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. It's cool.
Have you done it?
I did it once. I'm trying to complete this quest so I can.
Did you win in the arena?
I went 1 and 2, so I only got a common.
Okay.
But it's not like I think they make sure that it's a card you don't have already, because it would suck to give up 150 coins and get a card you already have.
It's probably, but that's gonna get so addicting. Mm-hmm. Doing that.
Yeah, trying to go 3-0 to get the guaranteed rare.
Yeah, oh man.
So obviously, I've been playing Hearthstone too, as you can tell. So I've been enjoying it. I've been really enjoying it, but Neil kind of talked about that, and I'm sure it's been out forever now, so everyone kind of knows what to expect by it. I've also been playing. I got WWE 2K15, like I mentioned before, and I'm going to start streaming that probably in the next week. Once I beat Bloodborne, I think we're going to start streaming that. I'm continuing to play MLB 15 The Show, which has been great, and I'm playing Mortal Kombat X. Sorry, Neil. Yeah, that's me trying to put new batteries in my remote. Neil just goes to the message. He goes, "Are you clapping? Stop!"
I just keep hearing this noise.
I was putting new batteries in my remote as we did the podcast. I'm also laying down on the couch right now.
What else? Are you watching wrestling in the background or something like that?
No, actually, I TV's off for like the first time ever.
Oh, man.
Yes, I'm Mortal Kombat X continuing, but also, I mean, the big thing is Bloodborne. I'm attempting to beat it this week. Me and Neil are in the last area. We have 3 bosses left, 2 of which are mandatory, 1's optional. I'm sure we'll try and beat all 3.
I love the fact that at the end of this game, you can just say, like, no, I don't want to fight the boss, and he'll just kill you. And
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah,
that's it. Like, you don't even have to fight him. I think it's so cool.
so yeah. So I mean, I'm playing a lot. I'm playing 5 games right now. I'm overwhelmed. So that's why I'm trying to wrap up Bloodborne, because as much as I'm loving it, I just kind of need to clear my plate a little bit, and that's the closest thing.
It's like, I need it to get behind me, because it's all I think about at work, and I just keep looking stuff up, and I know once I beat it, I'll probably stop looking stuff up. I hope, because I'm addicted.
So I mean, farewell, goodbye. I've seen the thing. Goodbye. I had the best thing for lunch today. I had a chicken bacon.
You're losing it, man. You're absolutely losing it over there.
I had a chicken bacon flatbread with pepper jack cheese. It was really good. Anyway, so you ready to wrap this up, or
Let's wrap it up.
let's wrap it up like a Christmas present and put it under the tree?
I love it.
Thanks for joining us for the 14th episode of the Koalafied Gamer Guys podcast.
What number was that?
14th.
You did not say that.
I did so. Go back to the tape.
You were like the 14th or something. I have no idea what you said. It wasn't a number.
It's because I'm laying on my side and all my spit is pooling in my cheek. So welcome.
The most qualified of gamers.
Welcome to the 14th. Goodbye from the 14th episode of the Gamer Guys podcast. Welcome. I welcomed everyone in like an hour into it. You can follow us on Twitter at QualifiedGGS. We tweet dumb stuff. It's fun to follow us. You'll get notified with a little tweet every time we post a video on YouTube, which is helpful. Follow us on Twitch at QualifiedGG. Oh, no, that's wrong. Qualified. Qualified. You can follow us on Twitch at Qualified Gamer Guys. All these links are in the description, by the way, so if I just screw them up, you can just click on that. Follow us on Twitch. I'll be streaming WWE season soon, so make sure you follow us on that to get a little email when I start doing that, because I'll have some choice words for that whole process. So that'll be coming up. That'll be our next featured stream. Like that, I just made up a thing that we do, a featured
Yeah,
stream.
you did.
You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You're here. You found us. Just hit the subscribe button, and you'll get a little notification on YouTube every time we post our podcast and another video. What else do we got there? Oh, my friend, our friend, everyone's friend, who made our theme song. If you like the theme song, go over to soundcloud.com/gearheadedm. You can check out his music, which is fun stuff. It's EDM music, if you can tell. And again, coregamer.com with a K. Enter the email. Sign up for the daily emails. They're really helpful. You have anything else you want to say, Neil? Or
No, I think you got it, man. I love your endings.
I know it's just a ramble on, and I make mistakes because I'm tired. You know,
Because you're laying down and you're just all relaxed.
I know. I've been talking for an hour, and I don't know, Neil. All right. Thanks for joining us for the 14th episode of the Qualified Gamer Guys podcast. Oh, send us a goddamn email. I forgot to mention it. To qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com. All right? Over and out.
We're just demanding. Send us one now.
Send us an email, qualifiedgamerguys@gmail.com. If you don't send us an email, who knows if there'll be an episode 15. So stew on that, everyone. Goodbye.